Here I am, Leon C. aka Morpheus. Before you begin, I need you to like, share, and subscribe this, because I guarantee that you're going to get something out of this. And in return, all I need you to do is share the good news. Because today I'm going to vanquish your dreams and I'm going to make them a reality. Today, ladies, if you're all listening to this and you swear to love your man, or you love men and you want to help them in their struggle for success and to be the best that they can be, and you are also concerned about what other women are doing that you disagree with, it will be best for you to like this, because it will support men and it will show your honesty. But however, this one is for the men, and I'm going to talk to you the way that your fathers probably have never have spoken to you, or maybe have said, but not in this way. If your father is not here with us in the land of the living, I do feel for you and my condolences. But I am going to fulfill and fill in the footsteps that was not there, and tell you things now, no matter how old you are, whether you're 50 or 20 or 60 and 19. That will help you. Oftentimes we don't have a direction because we're looking for an identity and an icon and a choice of direction in which we should go. But as Morpheus, I am going to give you this red pill today, right there. And I'm going to go ahead and take mine. That is going to give you the fulfillment and the option and the choice. Because I never want to be like anybody but myself. I never want to be anybody but me, Leon C., aka Morpheus. I like what I've transformed to be. But before we get to this point, or before you can say that, even if you think you are, sometimes it's best to put our pride on the shelf and our ego aside and accept the fact that sometimes we're not where we want to be or where we need to be in life. But your surrounding areas teach you every day. You just don't see it. Oftentimes it's flashed before you. Oftentimes you imagine it, but you don't know how to put a target on it or put this fish on the hook. As your substitute father and your realistic brother here, my American men, I will help you to succeed today. Now, when you see, I'm going to tell you what you want to be. As brazen as that would be, and as much confident as I have that much confidence to tell you what you want to be and what I want to be. Okay? I don't have to know you to know your deepest, darkest secrets or your ambition, but I know what you want to be. Okay? You want to be that guy who's free to be who you are. You want to be that man who is free from struggle, from stress, from frustration. You want to be that guy who's not stuck in a marital contract of 12 to more years with this woman who have lost her way, who have lost her interest of keeping herself together, who have lost the interest of being a viable asset to your success. You want to be that guy because you don't want to be that guy who's stuck in the contract with this woman who have allowed herself to go downwards, who have transformed to be a feminist, who no longer holds your interest for various reasons. She nags at you. Now you got only one side of the house and she has the other side of the house. Now your only freedom is your garage and her freedom is the bedroom. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy who has to pay child support for a child that isn't yours, that you won't find out until 18 or sometimes 20 years later, or maybe even 25. Okay? You don't want to be that guy. You want to be that guy who knows his children, who has access to his kids, and is able to freely love them every day if you so choose. You want to be that guy that you see on TV or maybe even social media who owns this brand new Ferrari, this newest brand Ferrari, something like a LaFerrari. You want that car. You want to be that guy either standing next to the car with the pink slip in your hand where you own the car, you can maintenance the car if you need to, and you have a backup car. So it's not your only car, but just the fact that you have the car, you want to be that guy. Most of you do. I know I would. You want to be that guy who is at the bar and who has two lady friends by his side. And the two lady friends aren't asking for anything. They just want to be there around him. They want to be around his presence. Of course, we know they want to be around his money, which is the truth here in most women in America. But at least they are around him. And you want to be him because he's not married to one of them. He's not married to a woman at home who will nag at him if he's going to the bar and he's meeting up with his girlfriends, who he most likely get the opportunity to donkey dunk with anytime he wants to, or better yet, both of them at one time. You want to be that guy. I know I do. As Morpheus, I'll be honest to say, yes, I would love to be that guy. I want to be that guy. You want to be that guy who's confident enough to understand, not the Bible, because that's written word. You want to be that guy who's confident enough to challenge the ether, to be spiritual and have a unique one-on-one relationship with your interpretation of God. You want to be that one where you don't have to think as if you are a special individual in the eyes of the universe. You want to know that you are by the facts that you know of, by experience, and by the knowledge of history and facts. You want to be that guy, but you don't want to be that guy who just talks smoke and mirrors, that guy who argues from a point of biblical text, who don't know much about history. You don't want to be that guy who's been programmed since birth to be who he thinks he should be. And he lives by that protocol and programming to only find himself when he's too old and no good to do anything for himself. And now he's 50, 60 years old and he gets the opportunity to retire. But his most youthful years of being this wonderful, brazen, athletic football player is done and gone. You don't want to be that. You want to be the older guy who's not 40. You could say not 40, but not 40, 50, 60 years old, who finally found his footing in the world. You want to be that guy who finds his footing as early as possible, where you can spend the rest of your life living your life, not struggling to live your life. Struggling to figure out who you are, struggling to find your place, where you will only find it when you are past the middle age and now you're 63 and you finally get the opportunity to own a Corvette. And the only women that come around you are those who just want to be up underneath your money, which is obvious, but you only have very few years left to enjoy your little bitty freedom that has been allotted to you, that you have finally broken away from your slave mentality or programming for 60 something years. You don't want to do that. You want to have it earlier. You want to have it sooner. You want to live the life that's been given to you. So therefore you will have no regret. You want to be that guy with no regrets. You don't want to be the guy who's always watching social media where there are other guys who have fancy, expensive cars, and all you get a chance to is look at it. You can never own it because you can't own the maintenance. You can't own the garaging or the setting it up. Okay, you can't own the name tag of the car, and you can't own the car itself. You don't want to be that guy. Because you don't want to be that guy who just can only envision it through your imagination. And that's all you got is an imagination, but never, ever have the opportunity to realize it because you've been stuck with just your imaginations, never knowing that you are constantly every day challenged not to ever manifest those desires or those dreams. You want to be that guy who has a six-pack, who looks good, who's in health, who don't need to take any additional pills. You got your natural testosterone. You're working out just well, and your mojo is operating as it should. You want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy who's in a hospital, always needing some sort of medication, always needing some doctor's assistance, always on a cane, always making excuses, can never run and jog anymore, and barely even flip back and forth on your bed pedestal. You don't want to do that, but you want to be that guy who can do all and everything that probably some of you can do right now. You want to keep that, right? I'm sure. If you can't do it, then you're probably one of the ones who don't mind being that guy. That guy don't have a face, my brothers. That guy don't have a name. That guy you see who has those objects, who is successful, who is free to date who we want to date, who do go out there and get a beer and have several other women who will share a beer with him. And he's able to go home with a smile on his face and a wonderful story to tell if he doesn't try to hold on to the tale with a contract. You understand? You want to have this freelance lifestyle, but you must know that it doesn't have a face. It doesn't have a certain status as you may think that the programming wants you to think it is. They want you, the Agent Smith wants you to think that there's hurdles and hoops that you need to jump over to be this successful man, to be the best that you can be, to have the six-pack and the broad chest. Okay? And some of the people who work with the Agent Smiths are the ones who's telling you that you need to be 6 feet tall. You need to have six figures. You need to be this certain status, which mostly is, who's saying that? Women. Women are the ones usually telling you, oh, you need to have this if they're going to be interested in you, my men. So it becomes somewhat of a status quo of a requirement, definitely only generally by the blue pill beta guys, making it mainstream understanding. But it's actually mainstream ignorance. They're just words and protocols, and you can consider it stimulated punk out words to make you do something that you shouldn't otherwise do. It's a distraction to make you think that that is the standard way to be accepted, to find out that you could be the best that you could be. Going against that grain is actually the truth. But what system wants you to go against its programming? What ideal of the Agent Smith would want you to realize that you are in the matrix where you can free yourself? But I'm here to tell you with all due gusto and confidence that you want to be that guy that you look in the mirror and you love who that guy is. Even if you think you love who that guy is now, you can love him even more by not binding yourself to these systems that keep you away from those dreams and desires, whatever they may be. Where you can have that fancy car, you can have that wonderful yacht, you can have that house on the hill, you can have your women who aren't in contract with you, financial contract, which of course you know is marriage. You don't have to be the guy who's sitting on the bench watching the other guys pump iron, watching the other guys run around and jog, kick balls, flip over back and forth, and bench press 300 to 400 pounds. You don't have to sit there and do that. You can do that yourself because he don't have a face. You know why? Because that's your face. You didn't name it, nor did you claim it, but you can name it and you can claim it by not allowing yourself to be distracted by the systems that you are around. By not trying to tie yourself down to these so-called financial contracts called marriage. By not putting yourself in a situation where you feel emotionally committed or emotionally obligated to a people such as Agent Smiths and the women who work for Agent Smiths to be emotionally distracted, where you wasting your time spending money trying to get their approval. You wasting money trying to prove that you're this big shot guy. You going out and probably might even rent a supercar just to pretend as if you got money in your pocket, but yet you don't have it, but you still aren't that guy. You're just trying to play the system so you can get the proceeds from the system. That itself will slow you down and be a distraction and keep you from being that wonderful guy. Because that's not the way to do it, my brothers. The way to do it is to leave it alone altogether. Let her stir in her mistakes. Let her realize that she have lost the Shangri-La, which is you. Let the construct in the world know that you don't give it about what they think about you or what they feel about you. That you are concentrated on your grind. You're concentrated on stacking your papers. You're concentrated on making the best that you can be. Instead of spending 2 or 3 hours with her, you're spending 2 or 3 hours in the gym getting your mind, your spirit, and your body right. Instead of spending 2 or 3 hours trying to look good in the mirror so you can be at an approval of the world who don't really care about you, you can be spending time in the mirror figuring out that you like what you see. Regardless of the opinions of others, if they don't like it, they can go kick rocks with the biggest brick possible. Okay? That you're not concerned about them, that you are concerned about your future. You're concerned about yourself, that you are trying to realize your imaginations and your dreams. You're not trying to just live in a settled place in a stontified, low frequency, low lifestyle where you are satisfied being the passenger of your own life. You are satisfied being the back seat of your dreams and desires and allow every other man or person, big brother, go out there and succeed and drive the Lamborghini, the Bugatti, the Koenigsegg's and the Porsches and the Corvettes. And you sit back and do nothing but drool. They'll be free to date whatever woman they want to be with. OK, they'll be able to free to travel the world as they please and not worry about some nagging American woman telling him what he need and need not to do as if she is his mother. OK, but yet you don't want to receive that because you're too busy distracted, too busy trying to be a blue pill, too busy trying to come to her rescue, the very person who's causing the catastrophe to begin with. If she makes a mistake and she mess up and she feel like she can do it all by herself, let her do it all by herself. Walk away. But oh, I forgot. You can't resist the donkey dunk. You can't resist saying, well, I'm a man at the end of the day and I can't just automatically detach myself. Oh, but my young Neo brother, or so let's say son in this matter, you are forgetting that when you are spinning your wheels, when you are building your empire, when you are taking care of yourself and beating on your chest as the king as you are supposed to be, and you are that guy owning the Koenigsegg's and the F1s and the McLaren, you are that guy building up your stacks, you are that guy only being concentrated on your business and staying on that grind where she will come naturally. Most of them are gold diggers anyway, sorry. Because that's all they want from you anyway. At the end of the day is your resources. That's what they want anyway. Otherwise, they will be with you without it. They would not mind you and your Honda or your Ford Taurus. They wouldn't mind being with you with your low grade vehicles, your Chevy Cavalier or your Malibu. They wouldn't mind you. Of course, they'll still be by your side. But even then, you got to be careful because she's a growing Agent Smith that eventually when you lock it down, you'll begin to realize that that's the only level that you will ever be at because she will constantly nag and want more and more and more until she gets rid of you to jump on the next bandwagon and search for that man who is not like you and who is that guy who's driving the Bugatti, the Ferrari and the Porsche, whereas now she is one of his mates. And you lost. So she spent that time with you to only keep you in that time in a limited frame and limited progress and limited performance. You don't want to be that guy. You want to be that guy that breaks free from chains, who do not chain himself down, who is free to say that I am me. And if you don't like who I am, okay, that's your problem, not mine. I'm going to be who I am at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. You want to be that guy You don't want to be that guy in the courtroom getting divorce raped, where you spending alimony and child support for this woman who you have spent 12, 13, 15, 20 years with. All that time you could have been building your empire. All that time you could have been somewhere else in Florida owning something. All that time you could have been owning the bank. All that time you could have been a CEO of a corporation that people have to come to you for advice and help. All that time you could have been dating 5 or 6 different other girls who will give you all the time, the day, the energy, intimacy, and whatever else that you need without a contract. But you wasted your time trying to lock this one woman down who obviously, if you pay attention to the news, if you pay attention to feminism, if you pay attention to these women here in America with their false sense of liberation and equality, they don't want to be locked down unless they're locked down next to your money and your time and your labor. Because if it was wrong, if I was lying, son, if I was telling you differently, son, you will end up researching and finding on a vast majority that it will be the other way around, where you will find a rich, well-to-do woman who she is the one driving the Ferrari. She's the one with the Bugatti. She's the CEO looking for you. But that rarely happens, my friend, my brother, my child, because she's not looking for you. She's looking for somebody with the status that has the same as her or more so she can retire, because she's looking for a reflection of her status, for her degrees. She's not looking for a reflection of her heart. Whereas an individual, a person without a heart, I'm not saying she's not. Don't take offense of this. I'm just saying for those who do it, if it applies to you, too bad. Maybe the shoe fits. For those who are with a heart, is not concerned that you don't have a Corvette, that you're not 6 feet tall, that you don't have a 6-pack, that you are not working at McDonald's, okay, are working at McDonald's. They don't curve themselves. They don't concern themselves with that. All they want to do is be with you. But people don't want to be with you. They want to be with the makeshift you. They want to be with the one that is programmed or satisfied being programmed by the construct. That's what they want. They want to be with the one who is so obedient to allow themselves to be a blue pill beta guy, to be locked in all sorts of marriages and relationships, so she can use you as the backup guy. She can use you as the guy who's going to be flipping and flopping and donkey dunking with her behind closed doors that your wife will never know about, our girlfriend. She wants to be that side chick because she don't want to be committed to you. You understand? She wants to be that one that you can chase and flirt with and play with because she know you will never be serious. You will never break up with your wife or your girlfriend and be with her. So she's free to dance with you anytime and night of the day. Because once you lock it down, once you leave your nest to try to be with her, it's going to be planned obsolescence anyway. She's not going to stick. Because what she wants is not a committed relationship. She don't want to build a new America. She's not interested in the family. She's only interested in, what do girls say? Having fun. It's a girl's thing. If he can do it, I can do it too. And you find yourself missing out on your dreams and opportunities that you can make happen. Where you're the one on the other end of the screen with a Ferrari, okay? With the newest cars. All right, with the Lamborghinis of all types. All right, all modifications with the latest, strongest, greatest, most powerful Mercedes that they have yet. But you won't be that guy, but you can be. Where other guys are looking at you saying, I want to be that guy. Then you're able to turn around and say, hey, in order for you to be me, you have to make sacrifices. You have to start learning and realizing the species around you who are keeping you from your success. You have to understand how the system is working against you. You have to understand that the system wants to mold you to be something that you are not, because you are that person who's successful, but you don't know that you're that person because you're too busy being that person that you really don't want to be, which is a dreamer and somebody who knows nothing but to imagine being that person that you are supposed to be. That's your problem. You want to be that free eagle. That's what you want to be. You want to be up there. That's where you want to be. You don't want to be laying next to somebody for 30, 40, 20, 15 something years who have lost their potential in many ways than one and have no intentions of changing or doing better. Then all of a sudden, when a different eagle comes around, she's interested in that, not you. Why do you think these kids are raised without fathers anymore, or mothers in some cases? Why do you think there's no such thing as unity anymore? We can't trust each other anymore. Why do you think marriages don't last no longer than 10 years anymore? If you last 5 years, you're lucky here in America. But yet you tie yourself into it. You pray about it. You hope that your sense of God is going to protect you, where you're going to be lavished in luxury in this marriage or this relationship, and you're going to be okay for the rest of your American life. You will be absolutely financially bankrupt wrong. Because while you're there, okay, every other man is going to be eagle. You're going to be watching on TV every other man succeeding in their success, being with wherever they want to be at, being with whoever they want to be with, being free to be the man that they are, and beating on their chest as they are made to be, while you sitting there on your lounge couch drinking a beer and smoking something because you are depressed and you have no way to go. And even if you do try to escape the nest, she's going to cut you off by the knees while you going out the door. Whereas you're going to have to succumb to at least 5 or 6 different years or less to even get up on your feet to survive once again. Because you was that guy that you wasn't supposed to be. Now, in order to be that guy that you want to be, you have to understand it takes wisdom, it takes self-discipline, and it definitely takes just making it happen. To do that, you need to work, be disciplined, work, be disciplined, work, be disciplined, and don't let these people throw you off your square with their so-called bashing. Women love to bash you. Women love to say, oh, you must be gay. Women love to say, oh, you must be, something must be wrong with you. Or, oh, you must not be able to perform in the bed. Or, oh, you're just so distracted. Maybe you're going to meet some other person over there on the other side of town. It's none of their business what you're doing. You stay on your grind and you laugh in their face when you are successful and they're there in the unemployment line. Are they there looking for some government assistance? They're there waiting for you to be Captain Saber and swoop down and pick her up. Okay? Yeah, you'll pick her up, but you'll drop her. You'll pull that fish out of the water and say, well, you could have been here, but here's your kiss. Well, goodbye. That's all you get, because that's all you are able to give. Because if they were able to give you more, then you would have succeeded by now. If they were able to give you more, America would be different. If they were able to give you more, the divorce rate wouldn't be so skyrocketing off the charts now. If they were able to give you if they were able to give you more, you wouldn't be that guy wanting to be that other guy who is free to be the guy that he's supposed to be. You will be the guy that you are supposed to be, because you are supposed to be with the mate. You're supposed to be with the mate. You're supposed to be with the one. You're supposed to be with that woman who will support you to be the best that you can be. But oftentimes, once again, you get yourself in this contract or this situation where you cannot be the best that you can be, because she's keeping you from being the best that you can be. So you're never that guy that you know that you are supposed to be. So continue to walk with me, son, brother, and I will help you reach that point as much as I can.